the less structure there was, just appearance. You know, it went from this is how it is to this is how it looks. That's it. It just looks like this, but it ain't no gangster shit happening here. Not for real, for real. Like niggas is not dying on that rule and regulation thing. They're not. And there once was a time they were. You know, Ronnie Monk pled out to 32 years at 30 years old. He pled out to that. He didn't consider no deals. He didn't think about telling on no motherfucking body. Because Peanut King had gotten 50 years for that case a year and a half before, 2 years. So 2 years, so he got busted in 83. Monk got busted in 85. So yeah. And they had already given Peanut 50 years. You know what I mean? So, and Peanut, he was Peanut's Connect. He was supplying Peanut King. So, and he got 50 years. So, you know what they would have did to the Connect. And he took 32 years. You know what it takes to be a 30-year-old, rich, powerful motherfucker and accept that life as you have known it for the 30, you know, for at least a dozen years up to this point is going to be completely fucking different, but you accept that reality? You know what type of moral fabric, ethical fabric it takes? And motherfucker was talking about there was no honor. Of course there was honor. Of course there was. But you can't come up in the kind of environment that's producing today's guys, whatever they might be, street, or whatever they might fucking be or consider themselves to be, and be able to wrap your mind around that degree of morals and ethics. You can't not have any of that structural influence in any aspect of your development and be able to understand what would make a man say, I accepted the millions and the adulation and everything else. And on the other side of that same coin, I accept the incarceration, the degradation that is prison, the deprivation that comes from being incarcerated. I accept that. Just like I accepted that other shit. If you don't come from some type of ethical fabric, criminal or otherwise, but some type of fabric, some type of solidness, you ain't gonna be able to wrap your mind around that shit or make a motherfucker do that. Oh, what? Game over? Oh, no, I don't want to play no more. How you gonna say you don't want to play no more? The game is over. Now you don't want to play? You don't want to play this part? This shit all derives from people's minds being fucking weak, my nigga. And their minds are weak because their brains are fucking empty, my nigga. Empty. There's nothing in there, bro. There's nothing in there. And it's not just a us issue. But as I've said, all the things that negatively impact the larger part of the society in this country, if it negatively impacts them, if it gives them a cold, it gives us COVID, pneumonia, the same exact thing. Because of the fact that they have a structure around their situation. They have a system that sustains them, or they did. Trump is slaughtering that shit, but they did for a long time have a system that if they had any wherewithal, they could find protection or recovery in that. Now, not so much, and less so every day. But if it fucks them up, it kills us. So at the point at which, this was the point of realization for me. 2001, on September 11, 2001, I was up there in New York, and, you know, they showed planes hitting buildings, and then they showed buildings free falling. When I saw that, I was like, that's it. If they get away with this, if they are able to tell people some fantastical fuck shit about, the buildings disintegrated because planes hit them. Skyscrapers designed specifically to withstand being hit by a plane, which is a likelihood. Shit's 100 fucking stories high. It's a likelihood. Surprisingly, it hasn't happened, several times before. I think a plane did hit the Empire State Building like a really long time ago, something like that. But obviously it didn't fucking disintegrate, right? Because it's impossible.
But the
It's
plane,
impossible.
a plane flew into the Pentagon too.
There's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of that. None whatsoever. Like, there is no observable evidence of a plane hitting the fucking Pentagon. Personally. Secondly, the claim that they made about the way that the plane turned and then hit the building is, again, so far outside the realm of reality, of physics, that you'd have to have the brain of a 5-year-old to believe that. These are physical impossibilities. Cannot happen. No more than I can snap my motherfucking finger and, vanish right now. Like, it's physically impossible. But because people are so ignorant, their brains are so soft, so empty, they're so devoid of any information, they're so devoid of the kind of logical structure that one develops when one continuously expands one's knowledge base by reading and learning and, listening to information about all kinds of things, because that helps you to comprise or construct the matrix of your understanding of reality, what is and what is not possible. This is something that happens during the course of you coming up out of infancy to, pre-adolescence to, like, you get older and you understand, oh, there ain't no tooth fairy, that was you. Oh, there ain't no Santa Claus, that was you. Oh, there ain't no Easter bunny. And rabbits don't lay chicken eggs. And like, these are things that when your mind was less developed and less informed, you completely accepted that shit. And then you got to a point where you had enough understanding about how reality works where you knew, oh, no, that's not possible. Can't do that. That's not real. Too many people halt that process of developing their understanding about how the world works to the point where they can understand that, it's impossible for a plane to make a fucking building disintegrate. So I said, when I saw that, I said, if they get away with this, we're fucked. If they get away with this. If they are able to convince people that they're walking on the sky and the ground is above them, because that's what the fuck it basically is. Like, it's that ridiculous. No, you're walking on the sky and the ground is above you. Yeah, up is down. That's what that was. I said, if they're able to get away with this, we're fucked. Because once, this is like the ultimate dummy test, the ultimate cognitive test. If they buy this, we can sell them any motherfucking thing. We got them. And that's what that proved. And ever since then, they have been pegging this country. Ever since then. Ever since then. More and more and more, to the point where the situation deteriorates to the point where you find a person like Trump in the position he's in. Right? That is the result of something that came before. That's what that is. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the degradation or deterioration of reality based upon the degradation and deterioration of the collective mind that creates reality. Yours, mine, every fucking body's, our collective perception of what is reality, right? when that shit gets undermined to the degree that it has, and all types of amoral, unethical, just detached, not connected to nothing, unfounded, that means without foundation, just willy-nilly shit, when those conditions become the most prominent condition impacting people's minds, then the very fabric of reality begins to fucking disintegrate. And we have what we have. We have this culture we have where you know, all the shit that wasn't the shit is now the shit. It's the shit to be a punk. It's the shit to be a piece of shit, a cross artist, a fucking scammer, scam your mama, scam your best friend, scam your father figures, or, you know, like, yeah. You know, I don't know what the answer, I mean, sure, information, whatever, but some of these motherfuckers need to have their heads severed from their bodies at like, a tremendous rate. I'm talking about, you know, by the tens of thousands. Motherfuckers need to have their heads removed. It needs to be like, I know I'm sounding like, you know, some type of like, you know, Hitler-esque kind of motherfucker or some shit like that, whatever. But we got a fucking problem, people. And this shit calls for some serious motherfucking action. Like, seriously, man. A lot of you motherfuckers ain't gonna never know happiness because of the prevalence of this sick-assness going on in this fucking society. You think I'm bullshitting, but if you live long enough, you're gonna know that I am talking some real shit. Because nothing is fucking new. I've seen this, like I said. I've seen what happened to the world I come from. And it came from the overpopulation, the over-inclusion of people who were not qualified to be included, and the lack of maintaining that moral and ethical fiber that maintained that world. Now I'm watching the same fucking thing happen in this world. Same shit. So I can see this shit is going to go very bad, and we're already collectively not in a great situation. Already. So, you know, somebody named Meffy Douglas. Meffy? Somebody named Meffy Douglas wants to join us. Do I know you, Meffy? Do I know you? So did you see that? So yeah, you know, Chud the Builder is a fucking Did you mean to do that, Meffy? Did you intentionally do that? Because sometimes people accidentally request to join, and then they don't mean to do that. So let me know if you meant to do that, and let me know if I know you, because I know one Meffy. You remember Meffy, right? Little red, little short, light skin, red, freckles. He's running around the town.
Yeah.
And I caught him one day in Atlantic Station. I happened to be riding my bike, you know, I ride through the hood and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. But, you know, I'm riding around on my bike and shit, and I see him one afternoon. He's coming out some apartment over there. He's looking crazy. Yeah. That's Meth. That's him.
Yeah.
That's Red. I thought so. So I'll let him tell the story. This motherfucker was on his way to go do some mindless, desperate shit. I was like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Come here, man. Sit your ass down, man. Let's talk.
This is the end result of all that stuff you're talking about.
What up?
What up, Bob?
What's happening?
What's up? Yeah, man. Everything that you're telling them, every time you come on, this is the result of it. You know where I'm at, right?
You away? It look like you away. I see gray walls.
I'm in federal.
You where?
I'm in federal prison.
Mm.
I did everything
Yeah,
I
I've been
could.
years.
Huh?
Yep, dude. I've been in 9 years. Right? And you used to tell me about the white taps and all that, and everything, how these dudes real. And I'm telling dudes to stand me.
You breaking up. You breaking up so bad. Damn, I wish they could hear you.
Hey, listen, I want to love you, and
Damn,
I'll get you later.
all right, bro. Yeah, yo,
Yeah,
if you
sure.
can get a better situation on like Thursday, I do this
Yeah,
at Thursday, starting at
I know.
7 o'clock. We do this at Thursday as well. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But
I'll put you call back.
all right,
Yeah.
all right,
All right.
one, love
Love
for life.
for life.
So
I know what he's about to say. He's like, yo, you told me. He said, you told me about the wiretaps, about being on that phone. And you know what's crazy? What he's about to say, I done heard so many people come to you and be like, yo, you told me this. Yo, you told me and warned me about all these things. And exactly what you said, I just kept doing it. And, it wound up jamming me.
yeah, because the thing is they can't believe. Like, how could I know? How could I know these things? They don't understand how I could know these things. And the reason I say primarily that they couldn't understand how I could know these things is because one, we might have been, this is, because I've been going through this ever since I was a kid. And I guess it was like, one, wait a minute, we the same age. So how could you know that? Uh, the problem came, their resistance or their naivete came from thinking that, and I've spoken about this before, this is just an opportunity to kind of solidify this point because it's a very important point for cats to get it, they can get it. What's up, Frida? Frida J904 out there to BMO, I BMO. Uh, they figured we both from the hood. We both from Harlem. Later on, when I moved to the Bronx, we from the Bronx. We live in the same neighborhood or whatever have you. Like we the same. But their mommy was like a regular person. Their daddy was like a regular person, you know, and in a lot of cases, unremarkable, common, average, nothing special, particular about him, whatever. They're just a regular motherfucker just schlepping through life. So what I was getting at home, structure, morals, ethics that were hard, like hard set, they were not getting that at home. So although we were age-wise peers, we were nothing alike. Although they were young, melanated males, inner city, we were nothing alike. The accident or happenstance of their geography, their geographical origins, uh, our geographical origins, were all that we had in common. But they couldn't understand it. So they couldn't understand how I could have access to a broader base of knowledge than they could. To me, it was obvious as the nose in your face. To them, it was like the moon. Can't even see that shit. Like, what you talking about, Kabari? I had the benefit of 2 generations of hardcore, cold-blooded street people before me. So when I hit the street, I had already forgotten more about the game of death than most would have the time or the opportunity to learn before their time was up and their opportunities were no more. So a lot of them were dealing with a deficit they didn't even know existed. They thought we were in the same depth, and we weren't. I was in the 12 feet, nigga, you were in the kiddie pool. It's just I was as comfortable in the 12 feet as you were in the kiddie pool. So it looked like we were doing the same thing in the same place, under the same circumstances. We were not. And that's not, I don't usually quantify nothing I say. I say what I say, you take how you take it. But for the sake of being able to be impactful in a real way, to be able to be helpful. None of this shit is brag. This is not me bragging. This is my reality. Raised by Wolves is not me bragging. Remember, it was my personal journal. No one was ever going to read it.
I remember.
So it's not brag, it's reality. Anybody who would take it as brag is dealing with inadequacy issues. They're dealing with 10-watt bulb syndrome. Niggas can't see my shine because this 100-watt nigga is in the motherfucking building, man. But wait, man. Wait till I can extinguish this 100-watt niggas, then I'm going to get a chance to shine my whole 10 watts. You don't even realize all you're going to do is make the world a dimmer place. You're not going to change my volumness. You're not going to change my brightness. You're just going to make the world dimmer, dumber. That's what we got. Like right now. We just hit the hour mark. So I just wanted to ask you if you had seen any of these parts of this Jay-Z thing. This new look he got. He went from Basquiat to
Nipsey.
Yeah. I was gonna say Bone Thugs, but okay, yeah, Nipsey, sure. More contemporary reference, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that part. So and he did a lot. He had the Roots were his backup band, right? So obviously the music. First of all, live music beats a track all fucking day long. Nothing like being in a venue, especially small venue, with live music. It's if you've never had the experience, and you have no idea what you're missing when you are just in a space or have only ever been in a space where you're listening to pre-recorded digital music, and his performance ability and all that, he's very proficient at what he does, but I think with all of that I just said, I think that the highlight of what he did was a freestyle. With all that beautiful shit he put together, it's the negative, low vibration shit that motherfuckers are talking about the most. Niggas are doing whole videos about this freestyle because he talking about this one, and he talking about that one, and he talking about that one. You heard what he said about Jim? You heard what he said about this one? You heard what he said about Dame Dash? So, and he said he talked about Kanye, and he said something about Jack O'Reilly. He said it's like, I know I ask this all the time, but what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Bro? And I guess I speak to the things that's wrong with y'all. Like y'all awash. Y'all are awash with the low vibrational fuck shit, and it's gonna end you up somewhere you don't want to be. I'm telling you, you don't want to be there. Wherever the fuck is gonna end you up. You might not be moving in a way where you might end up in the penitentiary, but you could end up in a motherfucking cardboard box some motherfucking where, or camped out in the woods some motherfucking where, because your mind, your brain has gone so fucking soft and so flaccid and so weak that because you're giving so much of your time and attention and energy to bullshit, low vibrational sucker shit, that you're not preparing yourself for the inevitability of the types of changes that have been in the works for, fucking decades now. It's culminating to where we are now. Remember, Trump is the result of something that has been happening for decades. He's the inevitability of a bunch of corrupt, no good pieces of greedy shit that have come before him. There ain't no good presidents. None of them. None of them. It's not a position for a good person. Just think about it. It's not a position for a good person. It's a position for a useful person. And the question is, useful to whom? And I won't even begin to go there, because it'd be a waste of my motherfucking breath and time. You understand? The House of Sufia, or it's another motherfucker that been with us forever. What up, Mo? They try and I was reading that article too that you sent me about the CEOs preparing for massive layoffs, another round of massive layoffs due to what they anticipate with the AI shit, whatever. I didn't get a chance to finish reading it, but a lot of them are going to find themselves very fooled. They're going to find themselves very fooled. I'm telling you, that AI shit, another elaborate fucking scam. Y'all will see. Y'all will see. But you can't know these kinds of things or even be aware of them or even entertain that they might be that if you do not have or access you got. If you have no interest in accessing all of the information that's out there, that if you were to pull it together and have the logical prowess, the ability to do the math of logic, you would be able to conclude, oh, this is bullshit. Data centers, AI, this is a bunch of bullshit. These motherfuckers is grabbing the bag. That's all they're doing. It's just a new carrot. Got to keep coming up with new carrots. That's how you rob the people. That's how you pick the pockets of the people. Got to come up with new carrots. It's just a new carrot. That's all it is. But you'll see. I mean, it's like, my brother Mifi and all the rest of the brothers that came before him. Kabara know what he's talking about. He just managed to stay alive, healthy, free, and highly fucking functional. Being a harder core nigga in the streets than most niggas. Most niggas have not been as hardcore in the streets as I have. That's a fucking fact. Ask anybody you think you know that was out there like that in the 80s, in the 90s. Ask them. Ask them. Y'all are under the impression of a lot of shit that's not true, man. I'm telling you, it's not true. Y'all done bought it hook, line, and sinker because your brains are weak. They're atrophied. They're flabby. You better start building your minds, man. For real. But yeah, that's it. Hour, 7 minutes. I'm done.
Did you see Diddy jacking off in the corner coaching the nigga to fuck his girl? Oh man, you late. You'll catch on. When Thursday you should know. I'm gonna send you something.
Oh, please.
He was coaching the nigga while the nigga was cracking his girl. He standing there. He like,
Oh.
yeah, he pouring more baby oil on the nigga and shit.
Oh yeah. That was all that shit came out. I just seen a new interview like a what you call it for an advert for a new interview with the guy Digler, some whatever the motherfucker name.
Yeah.
It's like
compete with.
It's like what else are you talking about? Didn't you already talk about how you went through all of this stuff with this guy?
No, that was a different dude. Those are different porn dudes. This is a newer, different dude and a different girl. Those dudes are talking about
same
Daphne. He talking about Daphne, baby, 50 Cent baby mama.
Oh wow. I feel sorry for these children, man.
Yeah, this kid is in 8th grade now.
Man, imagine living with that. And all he could say is, at least my father got money. That's all he could say. Other than that, he's got nothing. He's got nothing to stand on. Nigga, your mother's a whore. Your mother got fucking slutted the fuck out. Your mother's a dime store fucking whore. Like, look at my designer though. Look what I'm wearing. I feel sorry for that kid. That kid doesn't deserve this.
Yes.
He doesn't deserve to be subjected to this shit. That's fucked up. That's some fucked up shit, man.
Yeah.
This is what happens when people have no fucking morals or ethics, bro. What comes after this? What do you imagine that what follows this is going to be good? How? How is it going to be good? Can't be. And it won't be. It won't be. Believe that. Y'all better take care of yourselves, my nigga. Stop following this fuckery and this foolishness. I'm telling you, maybe you like little bro Mifi. Mifi came from good people. Mifi comes from a good family. He don't look like it, but Mifi is African. He don't come from, he's not American. If I remember correctly, he's not American. Come from good people who have no idea how to fuck their child. Ended up like Mifi is a abbreviation of his real name. His real name is something African, like Mifi. Meef is his name. MEPH. I forgot his whole name. But he's not American. Like he assimilated with this culture, and he assimilated with the low vibrational aspect of this culture. And the day that I stopped him from doing that dumb shit that he was about to go do, um, he came to me a short time after that and said, "Yo, bro, I'm so glad that you stopped me, whatever, whatever. Just so happened, I was riding by, and he just happened to be coming out, and he had this look on his face. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? What you about to do? You know, talk to him and, help him understand, like, bro, bad plan. That's a bad plan. Seen him a little while later, and he's like, yo, thank you for stopping me, bro. That shit went bad, right? But he liked to be in the mix. You know what I mean? He was running around when Meech was home and all, that whole thing was going on. He was right there with us. You know what I'm saying? He loved that shit. He loved being in that mix of that, whatever. But that shit is 180 degrees different from where he come from. And he is the common, like, example. Like I said so many times before, 99% of the niggas from the hood are just poor squares. Just poor squares from square families that happen to be poor, that are in an environment where people are making desperate decisions all day long, every day. And they think because of the happenstance of that situation, that they magically have some street powers. And they end up like him, bless him, they end up like him. And it makes no sense. I was telling a nigga yesterday, like, Biggie, that movie, I asked him, I said, yo, you ever seen the movie Notorious? He's like, yeah. I said, you see how Biggie was hiding his drugs, his little drugs that he was cutting up, his little crack he was cutting up on, and he left the plate under the bed. His mother thought it was mashed potatoes, threw it away type shit. I said, yeah. I said, that is 99% of the niggas that was running around from 87 to 88 to 97, 98. Like niggas that came out in that space there, that's them. Hiding their shit from mommy, from their daddy, from their family, because it's completely fucking away from who they were raised to be and anybody they were raised around. If it wasn't for rap, none of this shit would be fucking happening, man.
They
None of it would
popularized
be
just
happening.
that. They popularized saying, I'm selling crack and I got to hide it from my parents.
Wow. And like, that's bro, you talking about a lack of cognitive ability. Like you're basically, there's a part of you that's basically saying, yo, you realize that this is not us, right? Because if this was us, we wouldn't be hiding it from our parents. This was us. This is not us. You're acknowledging that this is not us. This is not me. This is not you, nigga. If it's not you, you shouldn't be doing it. If it ain't you, because so much comes with it that it's gotta be you. Because if it's not, it's going to break you. It's going to break you. That's a fact. And it breaks you in so many ways. Maybe you don't tell, but you end up in a wheelchair. Maybe you don't end up in a wheelchair, but you end up strung out on drugs. Maybe you don't end up strung out on drugs, but you end up fucking losing your mind and walking around the street talking to your motherfucking self. All type of shit. I've seen so many fucking different results from this shit, bro. And the one common denominator is, nigga, it wasn't for you. I don't give a fuck how much money you made. Right place, right time. Any nut, numbhead, dickhead nigga could do anything in the right place at the right time. But time eventually changes. And if you're not really cut the way that you think you're cut, then that's when you'll find out who you really are. Who you actually are. But a lot of times it wasn't good. It certainly wasn't who they thought they were. So I tried to save a lot of niggas from having that heartbreaking, mind-bending experience. Like Meefy. Meefy, in the feds for 9 years. Bruh, come on, bro. Does not belong there. And I bet you every fucking person he comes into contact with, whether it's a corrections officer or another fucking incarcerated person, I bet you they all be like, yo, what are you doing in here? I guarantee they say that to him. What are you doing in here? Because it ain't hard to tell. You don't fucking belong here. He does not belong now. He just, his mind was just too soft, too susceptible to suggestion and influence, you know? But at least he's alive and he got an outdate. And, hopefully, willfully, he's taking advantage of his situation and he's empowering his mind, fortifying his mind, reading. He ain't got shit else to do. For real, for real. You know, he ain't begging niggas. Hopefully, he won't run into Chud the Builder out that bitch. Oh, yeah, and Homegirl was talking about like Chud the Builder. He said, this nigga's not racist. His family's not racist. I know people that work with his father. His mother got on the TV, on whatever, and the camera and was like, we don't fuck with that. We disown him behind that bullshit. He's just doing it for money and attention. Pretending to be a racist for money and attention. This is another way that a lack of moral, ethical fabric impacts a being. He's just manifesting that lack in the way that his whiteness, his white maleness, gives him access to. If he were melanated, he would be fucking selling fucking drugs, or he'd be, running scams on motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like he's running a scam, but he'd be running like one of those, get rich quick, send me 50, I'll send you 500 scams or some dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? It's the same type of lack of fabric, of moral fabric, But, it's the human condition, man. All you can do is not be one of them, son. That's all you can do, realistically. And share with whom you can, what you can, and then leave people to their own devices, man. And make whatever choices they are inclined to make. That's it. So, yeah, that's it. I'm going. I got a little more daylight. Go out there in the yard, work. But yeah, tap back in with us on Thursday, y'all. 7 o'clock. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are the WePopNson show. I am Cavario, the Mind Club, aka the last laugh, because I get the last laugh. Always have, always will. Son, I love you.
Love you too, Pop.
And the rest of y'all know what it is. Think critically so that you may live wonderfully. Peace.
No butt plugs.